baby. Man, we back with another one, man. Show. So y'all know, man, we gonna be live this week. So y'all know what time it is, man. But thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for support. One thing I want to say before I kick this thing off, man, appreciate my brother, my co-host, Coach Dre, for keeping the thing going, and everything. While I've been out, been away, doing other things, doing some other business that's going to help the channel grow. Shout out to my brother, Coach Dre. He's not here right now, but he might pop up here. So there you go. So, man, what's going on? See you, aunties. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Hey, if y'all, hey, listen. If you going to Boulder, put a 55 in the chat if you going to Boulder, man. Put them 55s. Put a 5 in the chat if you're gonna be in Boulder this weekend. You might see me. You never know. All right. Hey, Miss Sabrina. Hey, Miss Phyllis. What's going on? What's going on? I just wanted to pull up to y'all. Let's talk some Colorado football. Uh-oh. 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 Hey. 55 in the chat if you pulling up to Boulder this weekend, because your boy might be there. You might see me. You might bump into me. If you bump into me this weekend, don't be afraid to say hi. You know what I'm saying? I love to speak to the people, love to talk, chat up with the people. So, we will have a live, definitely me there. We'll definitely be live. So, you'll know exactly where I'm at if you're in the building. So, but let's get into some football. Let's get into just overall, just talk about some Colorado bus football. When I look at this team currently constructed right now, we're gonna have some people that's gonna hit the portal. Some fan favorites gonna hit the portal. Some fan favorites that that's gonna come in. So don't get discouraged if somebody hit the portal that you might be a fan of that or anything like that. It's always room for them to come back. So, I mean, not come back, but if they go to another place, just be thankful, be happy that they go into that, what I'm saying, wherever their destination is. Because a lot of time when it comes down to like certain people not playing or things like that, or you ain't seen them on well off or reach the people or Uncle Neely's platform, it's just because of the off field things. It's not always about on the field things. And I think people get caught up in that narrative of now, players only leaving because of something that they did on the field. And a lot of times it could be things they're not doing off the field contribute to why they're in the position that they're in, and where they stayed at the game. But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, let me know who your favorite player is so far that you've seen this spring that you really got your eyes on that you're going to be looking at. Hey, some of the aunties going to be there. Hey, we know the aunties supporting as always. The aunties always in the building. So definitely salute to them. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know I'm gonna see y'all. So for sure, I'm definitely gonna see you aunties this weekend. And so we good with that. The draft NFL for the supporter to see you auntie. Listen, the draft is the following week, so you'll definitely catch us live this week. We definitely gonna be having a show on Wednesday for sure. So we definitely have a show. Portal opens Wednesday. We're gonna be talking about some CU bus football Wednesday. And then next week, we'll be doing some draft coverage. So y'all just be patient. Give me just a second. What's going on, everybody? Sorry about that. I had to run and do something. Had some packages stuff come in, so my bad. Apologize about that. How you doing, Mr. E. Willa? What's happening, Mac? Man, what's going on? Yes, I will be at that. I will be at the first game of the season, Georgia Tech. So if anybody going to that Georgia Tech, put a 4 in the chat. Put a 4 in the chat. If you're going to that game, first game of the season, Georgia Tech, put a 4 in the chat for me. Let me know. I will be at the Georgia Tech game. 55 in the chat. If you're gonna be at the spring game, put a 4 in the chat. If you're gonna be at that Georgia Tech game, Mac, you say you're gonna be on the sideline working. Working where? Where you going, man? Where you gonna be working at? All right, so some people, so Marion Miller, Draylon Miller, Isaiah Hodge, and Cam Michaels. So who you most excited for so far? Okay. So mainly receiver group. I think y'all gonna be this year's team. Y'all gonna be kind of excited for. I think y'all definitely gonna be excited for this year's team. And it's gonna be a lot better than most people expect. You know, there's a lot of people that's out here that's thinking that this CU Buff team is not gonna be exciting. But when you really break down this team and the pieces that they're gonna add out of this transfer portal, we're definitely gonna have a better offensive line. You know, we got a little bit more pieces coming in on the offensive line that's going to allow us to be even better than what we are right now. But when you start to break down this offensive line, the defensive line, the people that's getting ready to come in on the transfer portal, we're going to have a lot in store. So, hey, my brother from another mother, Coach Dre is in the building. Oh boy, Coach Dre, what's happening?
What's going on? What's going on, man? Just checking in right quick, man. We out here at practice at pre workouts right quick. You know, just getting it in. My boys out here getting it in. You know the mob. We gonna always do what we do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so I was just letting the chat, before I start this thing, I just want to, saying appreciate you for, holding down RDMM Media while I've been out, doing some other things for the brand, and building some other stuff for the platform. So I just wanted to make sure that why you are here, that I gave you flowers, man, and gave you and showed you love for everything that you've done for RDMM Media, and continue to carry the brand and helping it elevate to another level.
Man, I appreciate it. You know, we brothers. Man, that ain't nothing. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. Like I say, I don't just talk it. I am who I am. If I'm your brother and I gotta hold it down till you get. Like I say, life is life, and we everybody have real life problems going on and real stuff going on. So you know, we just doing our best. You know, because I know you're gonna be having to do stuff when I'm not there right now. You know, football finna get cooked up for me, and with David being recruited and stuff. So it's gonna be a long season this spring and summer for me.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, speaking of Davis recruiting, I mean, in the process starting to get heated up in that whole realm. What are some things that you're liking so far about the process of your son is going through? Because we know it could be challenging, when you're talking about your son being recruited and having to deal with that, and train and get ready for a whole season. What's been the best part about this whole process so far about what he's going through?
The best process is that Rob really handles the process. He being real modest. I'm really not handling it. Rob is handling most of it because I just want to be a parent. I'm just the support system. I'm just the guy that when people look at when you are a coach, they try to handle you a little differently. So now what me and bro doing is we making them talk with Rob. So it'll be I'm just a parent. You know, I'm just a parent. And so I want David to feel comfortable making the best decision for David, not the best decision of what Coach Drake, what his daddy wants. So it's been a fun process, especially going through it with his best friends, Marco Daniels, uh, K Mac. We got about 5 kids that they grew up with, and they all going through it together. So for those guys to get to go through it together, we went to the Florida Spring game this week. We could have went to the fam, but we went and decided to go ahead and just stay in the city and go to the Gator game, the Gator Spring game, because of the Gators national championship basketball parade and stuff like that. So we just stayed home. We'll see what we do this weekend, but this summer, you'll catch probably me and Rob a couple of places. We'll be able. You
I
probably
wasn't
go.
gonna get at I wasn't gonna get at away. I wanted to, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying,
okay.
as we go through the process, you
So
know,
we just
and see
go.
what's
So
going
you know,
on.
but again, Rob,
We gonna document it, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to give that away. So which leads it to
all
me into
coaches
my
know that
next.
they're talking to Rob and
Yeah,
not talking
yeah.
to David's dad. They talking to Rob. So I'm just happy that I got somebody that's willing to help me go through this, and it's a great process. So I appreciate it.
No, no. With that being said, you know, David going through the process. You got some other, you know, key seniors that's on this team. This is his best friend going through the process. What are some of the things that you're looking for? Not all I was saying school wise, for a specific school, but what are you looking for out of the coaches, and what kind of message are you looking for as far as what they're trying to, you know, what you're looking for as far as David goes, as far as him going to a school?
Well, the biggest thing is I want what's best for my child, educational wise and becoming a man. So every coach, I'm not. It's more than football for me. So uh, people wonder why I support Coach Prime because it's a lot more than football. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for coaches that, again, you got to be more than a football excellent old guy. I got to know you're gonna check on my kid physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that stuff. So I'm looking at all of that stuff. I'm not just looking at the best football school. I'm looking for the best all around school with the best atmosphere for my son. So that's my biggest thing is what's best for David to grow as a man because, like I say, this will be his first time really that far away from home.
And that's the biggest piece about it, right? That first time leaving the nest and understanding what kind of environment my kid is going to be in, and so those are the type of things that, like, questions that, you know, the question that has to be asked in the process. So I just wanted to shed some light on that moment while we had you on the platform. Be on the lookout. You know, we probably have some interviews, you know, coming from either David or, you know, some of the players about, you know, the recruiting process, things how they go. So yeah, we got some things in store that we gonna do, that we haven't did in the past, that we gonna do in the future. So y'all be on the lookout. But I just wanted Coach Dre just to share some of those things. You know, the realm of what we got going on, because it's gonna be a busy 2025 for us. So don't think that, you know, we just MIA and we ain't been on the platform and we not. It's certain. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you guys are not aware about. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that light, especially on the light of, you know, not just David but the Eastside Rams. They got some tremendous players on that roster that, you know, a couple of those kids can really go play at the P4 level, at a high level. So it's not just David. So I just want to make sure that we put that out there for people to know what's going on. But to get back to Colorado football, Coach Dre, uh, when you breaking down what you've seen so far, who are the players that you see standing out so far to you?
You got to talk about R.J. Johnson. You got to talk about Kalen's. You got to talk about Salter, the linebacker, not the quarterback. Uh, and you got to talk about the freshmen. For me, Farrakhan and Gibson. The way these guys have came out and established themselves, and the biggest guy of all is Zy Chrysler. Zy Chrysler, if you
Yeah,
had to give out a spring MVP, you'd have to give it to Zy Chrysler. If you watched the morning run this afternoon, you heard them guys say that he's close to getting a five every time, him and Jordan Seaton. So for a kid to just come into a program to buy in, to be doing what he's doing, that's the big thing. Hey, let's go. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I mean, as you can see, you know, Coach Dre, he's coaching and on here. So man, we appreciate it anytime you can pull up and talk football. I know you got a busy schedule, you know what I'm saying, getting ready to do workouts and shit. So my last question to you, before you, I know because you got to get out here, time constraint. But when you look at what you've seen so far, what's one or two things that could be missing off this team that you want us to improve on throughout the portal?
I just want to, like I said, I just want guys that want to come in here and work. I want guys that's selfless, like we've been getting. I don't want no selfish guys I don't want no me guys. I want guys that want to come in and make Colorado better. And if we can get guys like that, we just picked up two great guys this weekend. I think we'll get a couple of more. So man, I'm just proud of what Coach Prime and that coaching staff is building and taking all the flack that they building. We in 2x2. We in 2x2. And so, we just got to keep working, man. We just got to keep working. Like, to everybody, I just want to tell y'all, I appreciate all the support. Y'all stay on here and rock out with my brother. Let me get into this thing because I don't want to be yelling through the phone the whole practice. But I appreciate everybody. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I get back with y'all.
Appreciate it. So y'all have it, man. Coach Dre, he's got up out of here. He had practice and stuff going. What was going on? We kind of got to let out of college visits that we're gonna go on. We're gonna document some stuff, and we're gonna go through, and y'all gonna get to see of what we going through the process. And the reason why we're doing this is to truly show y'all like what really go on sometimes behind the scenes. I can't show y'all everything and what how ultimately we come down to the decision that he picks this, that, and the third. I can't tell you what schools are involved of that type of things because the recruiting is still open. So I can't say, hey, this is what's gonna happen. He's going here, he's going there, or I don't want to get into who we in talks with. Um, I can't say we're in talks with a number of schools at the P4 level for some kids and Coach Dre's son, which is who I represent. We're in talks with some schools, so y'all just be on the lookout because as we go through these visits, as we go on this journey, y'all part of this journey because y'all helped build this platform, and so we want to give y'all something that shows y'all of the things of where we going and the hard work and dedication of what Coach J does on a day-to-day basis. So we always appreciate y'all for rocking out with us because y'all know y'all don't have to, but to keep the love, the support going, we just appreciate that the most because we got some big things coming in 2025. And then Coach Dre got another son that's getting ready to come into high school. So it's interesting as one kid leaves high school, he's got one coming in. So it's a lot. But man, I'll say this. I'm just thankful and blessed that, my brother from another mother, Coach Dre, allowed me to represent his son. That meant a lot to me. So I just appreciate them from that standpoint. But back to Colorado, right? Let's start to really break down who I've seen so far, who I think, right. And if y'all disagree, you agree, let me know in the chat. Don't be scared, to comment throughout the video. Let me know how you feel, and hitting that like button. So I'll say the number one player on my list has been Zach Chrysler on the offensive line as the biggest pickup that I've seen so far of us had in the winter portal. That's been the best addition. The most improved for me has been RJ Johnson. I've always had, I seen RJ last year, and I'm like, man, if this kid ever figures it out, he can go to a different level. He's got some levels in him to go. And so to see the growth from year to year jump and to see him really stepping up as Hood is out, has Preston Hodges out right now on the defensive side, man, it's a blessing, right? And we probably need to add about one corner into that room. But we're good. Overall. But the two main people that I've seen so far that really has impressed me is Zach Chrysler, as I say, hands down the best transfer we've had in the winter portal. And my most improved from last year to the spring so far has been RJ Johnson. Now it's too early to predict for me, right? Starting lineups, offense, defensive wise, because we're getting ready to go into the best part of the business, right? The transfer portal, springtime. And this is where your roster really gets set. Like you can't really take a toll into the winter portal. You kind of got an idea what your team might look like, some pieces. Now that you're going from spring into the summertime, to workouts during the summer, into fall camp, this is kind of when you get a mold of what the team might look like and where the holes might be deficiencies wise. So um, I'm telling you right now, it's probably gonna be between 4 to 7 players. It's probably gonna leave. They hit the portal. Um, probably for the spring game or after the spring game. So y'all just be ready. It might be one of y'all fan favorites. I'm just letting you know. I'm being honest with you. It might be 4 to 7 guys that leave, right? But with what the 4 to 7 guys leave, just know we got somebody that's coming in to replace it. We're going to get another offensive line, right? Because that's one of the biggest deficiencies that we see, right? Everybody's pointing out the right tackle. But also think about it like this: we also need depth right? So we might add 2 to 3 more linemen just because of depth piece, right? Somebody get hurt, who's gonna feel that, right? Because the two sides of the ball that keeps hitting each other, right, all the time is offensive defensive line. It's always collisions, right? So you're gonna have players in and out the lineup. So from that standpoint, we're gonna add a couple linemen in the situation. So yeah, every school has lost some good players. It's going to be a different season. Hey, listen, it's gonna be a great. Listen. The biggest thing for us is having the best offense and defensive line. We have the best offensive defensive line. It's gonna be we're gonna be a problem, right? Because everything else take care of itself. When you have great offensive line, it helps your linebackers, especially on the defensive side, just like it helps the running backs on the offensive side. Those two mirror each other. But now you also have a opportunity to really see, hey, this is what we have on the outside and who can get separation and how we can do different things in offense. Yes, so hey, I'm glad you brought up the Georgia Tech game. It's a spring game. Everything is pretty vanilla. If you watch the Georgia Tech spring game, it's pretty vanilla. It is out on YouTube, so if you ever want to see what the Georgia Tech team looks like right now, now they did not have their starting 3 wide receivers playing. I will tell you this. So if you watch the spring game of Georgia Tech that happened, you will not see they starting three wide receivers. They're not. They had 2 that transferred in. Well, all 3 of them. Well, no, 2 of them transferred in. One of them still there from last season. So their 3 top receivers didn't play. So be mindful of that. Now, when you look at them on the defensive side, their defensive backs are pretty small. They're on a small end. So I'm interested to see what they added in a portal defensively, because majority of their defensive players that they quote unquote project to start is there, and they look a lot smaller than they did last year. And it's gonna be a tough game. I'm not gonna tell you that that Georgia Tech game ain't gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. They're gonna be physical. They're gonna want to run the ball, and they're gonna run everything at you. They're gonna have a power. They're gonna have a counter. They're gonna have sweeps, jet motion, like everything that you want to see in a running game. Georgia Tech gonna present them. When you look at Georgia Tech starting quarterback, the name of the game is to try to get him to throw the ball as many times as possible. Because if you force him to throw the ball, you have a great high ability chance of intercepting passes because he's not one of the best passers. A lot of his passes they come out wobbly at the end, as you see spirals come up. He's more looking like this as you're trying to catch the ball. So um, that's one of the areas that I want to see, his progression from the quarterback level, but he's a hell of a runner. That's one thing I can tell you. He's a hell of a runner as the quarterback from Georgia Tech. So he's going to use his feet a lot more than he's going to use his arm. We got to win first and second downs. We got to win first and second downs to put them in third and long, or we're allowed to rush the quarterback and get downfield. So, J-Dot, what's the word? What's the word? Man, we just in here talking, man. Just talking about, who you seen that so far this spring that is, took their game out to another level. Who stood out to you? My 2 standouts that I gave, number one, the best transfer we've had improved is Zy Chrysler, and then the most improved so far has been RJ Johnson. So those are my 2 people. But let me know in the chat, man, who y'all 2 people that y'all been looking at. If you got 3, let me know if you got 3. Who that's been. But so far, those are the 2 that stood out to me. The most interesting piece of the spring is what are we going to do in this running back room? I think that's the most interesting piece of the spring so far to me is who I'm looking at versus what we actually see. Because I'm more leaning on Brandon Hood as our starting running back more than most people. So I'm just interested to see what they're gonna do in this running back room. But right now I got Brandon Hood playing a lot. And I got Michael Welch and Hayden splitting time, but I got Brandon Hood. And the reason why I got Brandon Hood, and this to take no credit from nobody else, when you look at Brandon Hood's overall game between running between the tackles, being able to understand when to hit the gap, when to cut back, his ability to catch out the backfield and be that complete back, Brandon Hood gives you that. So that's what I see out of Brandon Hood. Let me know. Maybe I'm wrong, but nah, I'm just playing. But hey, let me know what y'all feel about Brandon Hood. But right now, I got Brandon Hood as my starting running back. I'm glad I had a better seat this time. This game is gonna be. Where you sitting at, Miss Phyllis? Where you sitting at? Y'all know I'll be all over the place. When I get in the stadium, I'll be all over the place. I'm in the stadium, so we'll see. Webster linebacker has shown out this year. Hey, listen, I don't know how much Webster's gonna play linebacker this year. I'm just being honest. The way they're utilizing him in the defense right now, I don't know how much he's gonna be playing linebacker. He might be playing that star safety role more than the linebacker role, which is the outside linebacker role he was in. Well, he was in the middle, but him being able to roam and be able to cover tight ends, you don't know how much that's a key when you can get somebody that can line up and guard tight ends and run with tight ends or run with the running back out the backfield. Like those things are huge. So it's interesting to see what they're gonna do with Webster. Right now, they've been playing him in the star spot and linebacker spot. And they've been moving people around just to see. And a lot of time, what I tell people a lot, I would rather see what they can do if they can bring more flexibility to a lineup in the springtime than wait till the fall time and be trying something out, because now you're talking about you got 30 days to get ready for a game. You really don't have time to be like, all right, I see you here, or now let me put you there. Now you're talking about offensive line, defensive line, that's a little bit. But when you start talking about linebacker safety or corner safety, you don't have that many days to do things like that. So definitely good to see Webster out there shining. But I think he's going to play more of that star safety role. But we'll see, because we definitely going to probably add another safety for sure, just for depth reasons. One, we need to add just for depth reason. Two, we have a lot of people out that's hurt, that's not healthy, that's not practicing during the springtime, that we're not going to see until fall camp. So that changes everything, because once we get to fall camp, you're going to have the other hood back. Coaching hood, you're gonna have Preston Hyde back. So now what does RJ do, right? Do you keep RJ at the outside? Do you put Preston on the inside and put Hood as your other safety with Tafik Byers? Like, what do you do? Like, you got so much things you could do on the back end. So it's gonna be interesting to see once everybody gets healthy, fully healthy, ready to go with the pads on. What does that look like? Section 119, row 4. Oh yeah. You're in a good section, right? Section 19, 119, 119, 120, 121. That's right there behind the players' bench. Colorado's bench, I should say. So you'll definitely be in a good spot there. He got some pretty good speed. What's your thoughts on linebacker 37 transfer? So you're talking about French. For me, 37 French, he's got the capabilities. My thing with him is about discipline, right? Every time it's a scrum or something like that, you see 37 in there, punching somebody face mask or getting into a fight. Those discipline things show up on game day, right? If you can't be disciplined in practice, how you gonna be disciplined in the game? So for me, it's just about him, right? But one of the things I like about him, right, at the linebacker position, you need them guys who they got them screws that's loose up top, right? You need one of them guys. So hey, it cost me enough. It better be a good seat. I listen. If I would have told you probably. Well, hey, okay, probably should have waited, but hey, the bigger the earlier you get it, the less stress you got to worry about of making sure you get a good seat. But it's a good seat. It's definitely a good seat when you're in the stadium. So I look forward to seeing you in the Georgia Tech game. You need this jacket? Oh man, hey, I don't know, man. But yeah, no, it's definitely a good seat. Anytime you can get a seat behind like the coaches, anytime you can get a seat behind Colorado's bench, especially at home, you learn a lot about the team just in that facet, right? You get to see who's being coached, who's not, who's been resistant to coaching. You get to see a lot of stuff that you normally wouldn't see, from a well-off or anything like that. You get to see a lot of them direct. So when people be like, "Oh, this person ain't coaching and this person ain't doing this and da 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 da," and Prime don't do that. Man, listen, you can look directly at the bench and you can watch it because y'all know if you ever been to a Colorado game, you know, or just a collegiate game, and they got them 2 minute and 30-second timeouts where they running commercials, you get to see a lot. You get to see a lot of interaction about what's going on with the team, and you know, you learn a lot. So we need another safety. Who's our strong safety? Honestly, if I had to say right now, there Tafik Byers, I know they got him on the second team. He gonna end up being on the first team, right? Tafik Byers, I got him penciled in. And he could play the strong or the free. Is necessarily what do we want to see? So, oh yeah. We definitely took a picture. Yeah, I be taking so many pictures with people, I be forgetting sometimes. What was I saying? Tafik Byers. So when you talk about the safety position, right now, I want to see what we're gonna do out the portal. That's gonna give you the true answer right now. Um, because Carter Stoudemire, he ain't. I mean, you got Carter Stoudemire. Um, it didn't surprise me that Savion Riley left, but I understand why he left at the same time. So it looked like it was gonna be Tafik and Riley back there, but Riley left now, so he's hit the portal. So it's really coming down to Carter Stoudemire, and you know, it's interesting not to see the freshman out there playing right now, which I think Branch could bring a lot to the table. But he's got to get bigger, right? That's one thing about Branch. He's got to get bigger. But we'll see. I just want to see what we're gonna add in the portal before I really give a defined answer to who's gonna be our strong safety, because we got some pieces right now in place. We just gotta figure out and tweak a couple things. Terrence Love is an option from Auburn. Hey, listen, he had already he hit the portal in the winter, and he was gonna come on a visit, and then he withdraw from the portal. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he double backs to Colorado, because a lot of this stuff, right? A lot of these kids didn't choose Colorado because they thought Coach Prime was gonna leave, and he was gonna end up going to NFL. So now all them players that was thinking about taking a visit or really had Colorado on the radar that thought Prime was leaving are calling back. They are doubling back. And so now you're gonna see a trickle down effect of, hey, if this person come in, that might be a trickle effect for somebody to leave. That, you know, it always happens that way, right? You get somebody in a portal and somebody already feel like they got a spot sewn up, or you told them this, that, and the third, and somebody that they know better than them or they feel like it's better than them, it might cause them to hit the portal. So you have those things that, you know, can cause you to hit the portal. And Love, he is a great option from Auburn. Don't get me wrong. He's 6'3" safety with some nice decent size on him that can play. It's interesting to see if, you know, Philip Dukes has already put the word in and said something to him. Because that, you know, Philip Dukes, hey, as much as, you know, he's on these Colorado platforms, hey, he's got that was the school that he went to. So never know. I feel like we need more O lineman interior. I think with us getting Hill, that our starter on offensive line is pretty much set. Um, my locks, I only got 2 locks on the offensive line. I'm just being honest with anybody. I only got 2 locks on the offensive line. That's Jordan Seaton and that's Dyke Chrysler. Um, as far as locks, pencil, like pinned in, those two. Right now I got Cash penciled in, but I don't have him pinned in. And so with the left guard, that's gonna be the most interesting piece right now. And why do you go out and get Hill if you already feel like you got the left guard sewed up? That's the reason why we went and got him, right? So I think he comes in and goes to left guard. Now is the biggest question is, what do we do at right tackle? That's the mystery piece right now to the offensive line is, what do we do at right tackle? What does that look like, right? But what it's showing you is that what we have on the roster at right tackle, they're not ready for that moment, right? Cartier is, you know, he's not up to speed to what we need him at, and that's the reason why we have to go get a right tackle. So now can Cartier take a step up from the springtime to the summertime and really take another level? He can pull a Jordan Seaton, right? And what I mean by pull a Jordan Seaton is after the spring game, he just lock in and just work on getting stronger and really working with a trainer, staying in Colorado, getting everything he need done for when he get ready for spring practice and look totally different, right? Because y'all know some people was calling for C's job at the spring game because the first play he gave was sack. But after he went back and watched film after the spring game, he went and he got stronger, got with his trainer, and he just locked in to get ready for the season. So those things matter. So when you look at, you know, the right tackle and Cartier Smith is, you know, the most key pivotal point for him is after the spring game, how motivated are you and locked in to understand that, hey, I got to put this weight on for the college. I got to put this weight on. Also, I understand what a college practice feel like. I understand what a class schedule feel like. How do I adjust so when it's time for me to come back, you know, because they're gonna have time off after the spring game, right? You can't practice anything, so it's a window that they got where they're just on their own. What's that look like, right? So this is gonna be the time where after the spring game, you're on your own. What do you do with that time until it's time to check back in when everybody checks back in June to get ready for July? Or some players don't get here until fall practice. What do you do? What does that look like? So it'll be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see. I do like our tight end that we got out the portal, which I already told y'all. You know, Zach Atkins was gonna be one of them guys, but he's showing up. He's doing what he's supposed to do. So you know, we're gonna have some 12 personnel. What most people complained about last year, as far as offensive wise, you're gonna see that this year. So, hey, J Dot, what's your big question mark so far? If there's any question marks that you have about the team so far, or something that you're looking forward to, let me know, J Dot. I'm going to be off for a couple more minutes and then I'm going to jump off. We will have a Wednesday show with me and Coach Dre during our normal time schedule. I normally don't come on this late, but Wednesday we will in our normal time slot, 11, which would be 12. It'd be 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is where we normally come on. We will be coming on Wednesday at that time because the portal does open Wednesday. So we're gonna look at some names of people that could possibly come to Colorado, things like that. We're gonna look at that on Wednesday. We're gonna talk some more Colorado football for sure with Coach Dre. So we're gonna do a little bit of thing on Wednesday to get ready for the spring game, NFL draft, and we're gonna talk some portal talk on Wednesday. So man, as always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in because I'm finna jump off here. I got to do a show tonight. If you want, I'll be live in a couple of hours. I got to do a show tonight. As always, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Smash that like button. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Peace.